Hey, welcome back, my fellow investors. It's me, ET, and as you guys know, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a self-taught investor who likes to talk about ways to increase one financial literacy. Now, today's topic is going to be something that they should have taught us in school, but they didn't. So we're going to go over it. And that is, we're going to talk about a financial checklist. So let's do it. Let's get to it. All right. Financial checklist. Right off the bat, we've got to get in the habit of pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. That's a skill, that's a habit. You'll get that skill once you get in the habit of doing it each and every time you get money. Whether it's earned income, something comes in, at least, go by the richest man in Babylon, at least 10% of everything that you earn should be sent in, should be paid to yourself. All right. Have an emergency fund. Emergency fund is a must. You don't want to use something like a personal line of credit for an emergency fund, a credit card for an emergency fund. No. That is a huge mistake. First of all, you're going to probably be left out in the cold. And the reason why I say that is, look what just happened to Wells Fargo, doing away with all their personal lines of credit. And if you use a credit card for an emergency, guess what? Whatever the cost of that emergency is, if you don't pay it off, you're going to be paying interest on it. It's going to be you're going to be paying more than what the actual emergency was. So have an emergency fund. There's a lot of different schools of thought. My school of thought when it comes to emergency fund, if you're a middle-aged and older and adult, you need to have at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses tucked away, saved. All right. If you're, just starting out and so forth, 3 to 6 months. Now, I know that Dave Ramsey says you started off with $1,000. That's cool. Start off with something, having something set aside that you don't touch in an emergency fund is better than having nothing and having an emergency, more than likely having to go into debt. All right. Pay off and down your debt. All right. Now, debt is, debt could be a good thing, debt could be a bad thing. I know Dave Ramsey says debt is a bad thing. I like Dave Ramsey. I love his baby steps, but that one there, if you can control your spending emotions and use debt the right way, I think that could be, having credit cards could be a good thing. All right. Now, I have credit cards. I don't carry a balance. I refuse to pay any interest on my doggone credit cards. I don't have a lot, but I have a few that I do use. All right. But if you have that, focus on paying off and paying down your debt. Now, we're going to come back to that. Number 4, you got to invest. And if you notice up here, I have 2 things. I have company 401k match and a Roth IRA. When it comes to investing, if your company offers a 401k and they match, you need to take advantage of that. You need to take advantage of it up to the match. If they match 5%, whatever that 5% is, that's what you need to put in, because that whatever that match is, whether it's 50% or 100%, that's free money. So do that. Now, if your company doesn't have a company match, then your next priority should be a Roth IRA. And the reason why I say that is because I would put a Roth IRA over a company 401k if that company doesn't match. The company match, you want to put up to the match. Then after you do that, then start focusing on the Roth IRA. Roth IRA is an excellent program we have to take advantage of. A lot of people are not taking advantage of it. You're using after-tax money, post-tax money you've already paid taxes on to put into this Roth IRA. And guess what? That money gets to grow tax-free. Now, If you're not going to be an active investor, myself, I'm an active investor. But if you want to be more of a passive investor and you're going this route, I would say you want to look into index funds, something that's going to mirror the market, something that mirrors the S&P 500, something that mirrors the Dow, something that mirrors the Russell 2000 or the NASDAQ. That's just my recommendation. All right, number 5, review your credit report / scores on a monthly basis. Keep on top of that. You should all know your credit score. I track mine on a monthly basis. I write it down on a monthly basis. I track it and I follow it. A lot of different ways you can take a look at your credit report and scores. You got to the annualcreditreport.com, I believe it is. You can take a look at your credit report from all 3 agencies. I use that, but I also use Credit Karma. And I know that a lot of people don't like Credit Karma. I like it mainly because I check mine every month and I make sure that my numbers jive. All right, but do that on a monthly basis. Stay on top of your credit. All right, and then track your net worth. Do you know what your net worth is? Do you know? All the net worth is the value of all your assets minus all of your liabilities equals your net worth. We need to track that on a month-to-month basis. And the reason why it's so important is because that's the only way you're really going to grow your net worth. You're going to see what happens from month to month. That's probably going to motivate you to go ahead and continue to do these things, is to pay yourself first. Make sure that you have that emergency fund, pay down your credit, and do this. All that leads to one thing. When you start doing these things and you start tracking it on your net worth, it's just going to be more positive reinforcement and more motivation for you to really get into it. And the reason I know, that's what happened to me. When I started tracking my net worth, I wanted to see it grow month after month after month after month. Now, there's been certain times where my net worth from one month to the next month didn't grow. And I did all the right things. I contributed to my Roth IRA. I made sure that I paid myself first, the whole 9 yards. But the market, like last year, the market. In March, my net worth went down. March of 2020, it went down. Wasn't because of anything that I did, it's because of what the market did. But I was consistent with it, and as a result of that, the market turned around and went to record highs, and so did my net worth. All right, focus on buying assets versus liabilities. All right, something that is going to appreciate in value. Yeah, that's all part of the investment and so forth, but keep that in mind. I'm in a pretty much new subdivision here. I get a lot of salesmen coming by trying to sell me stuff. And bottom line, I keep telling them, if you're not giving it away, I don't want it. And the reason why is I'm not focused on liabilities. I want to reduce my liabilities. Reducing my liabilities help me increase my net worth. And then you're going to get to the point where if you do this, you're doing what the rich does. You're focusing on buying assets. You're investing your money. You're going to get to the point now where all of a sudden your assets is going to be generating enough income to you as well as capital appreciation that you're going to be able to live off of that. Have your assets buy the things you want, like, and desire. All right? But the bottom line on this one here is be the student / the master of your numbers. All of these are numbers, guys. Hey, we're in the real world. That's how the world operates. The world operates on numbers. Corporations, numbers. Guess what? A corporation cannot operate if they're not tracking, if they don't keep their balance sheets in check, their cash flow. Think about the statements. Balance sheets, cash flow, and what's that third one? Income statements. Guess what? Regardless of whether you want to be or not, you're the CEO, CFO of your household. You track your numbers. What gets measured gets attention. What gets attention gets results. So, be the master of your numbers. Bare minimum, If you're gonna do this, pay yourself first, a bare minimum 10%. 10% you can do. Trust me. I've been there. I've been there when my bills were more than my income. And I couldn't file for bankruptcy. That's another long story. And I didn't. So I had to struggle my way through it. And I did. And once you came out of that, that's something that you never want to go back to. It changed my perspective. It changed my attitudes towards money. And now all of a sudden now I became a student of financial literacy. And as I became a student, I learned more and I started to apply what I learned. My financial life changed drastically. All right, with all that being said, remember, save, invest, apply what you know, because knowledge is not power, it's that application of knowledge is power. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.